We are not done with the rain just yet, and the stronger storms may be saved for Grand Prix weekend. We'll look at your forecast ahead. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. Also, first at 4, this is a moment many Michigan drivers thought would never come. We'll talk about its potential impact on your auto insurance. And tears of joy as a member of the Fab Five returns to the University of Michigan. He's talking about his new mission. All next, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, take a look at this historic event in Michigan. This is Governor Whitmer signing a bill that hopes to lower the cost of auto insurance. Now, she did the honors during the Mackinac Policy Conference. The Democratic Whitmer got the deal done with Republicans controlling the legislature. She says it is the perfect example of bipartisanship.
It wasn't always easy. There were moments where we thought it was going to fall apart, but we stuck it through. We stayed true to our mutual goal of finding relief for people, not succumbing to partisanship or special interests. And today, I think, is a model for how we can and must continue to move forward.
The new law is set to do several things, including guarantee low rates for drivers for 8 years. It will allow people to pick the level of catastrophic coverage they want. The law will also increase protections for drivers and prohibit companies from determining rates based on non-driving factors like zip codes, credit score, or gender. Finally, the law will set fee schedules for hospitals and providers to prevent overcharging for auto-related injuries. Police are investigating a scary moment for a young boy in Detroit as he runs away from a stranger. 10-year-old Monte told police he was on his way to school on East Forest and Russell when a man walked up to him and offered him candy. Monte said no and then took off, but he said the man continued to follow him. The boy was on the phone with his mother the entire time.
He said, "They trying to get me," and I told him to run and run and run and don't stop, and that's what he did.
Right now, police are working to put together a description of that man. And once we get that, of course, we're going to share that with you. We'll have a live update on where the investigation stands tonight at 5. A sexual assault trial for Larry Nassar's former boss is underway. William Strample is the former dean of osteopathic medicine at MSU. He's charged with criminal sexual conduct against a former student. Strample is also charged with misconduct in office. He's accused of failing to properly supervise Larry Nassar even after a complaint was filed against Nassar. Strample's trial is expected to take 2 weeks. Tears of joy. That is how the new men's basketball coach at the University of Michigan described his emotions today, and you can really see it on his face. Take a look. Juwan Howard just broke down as he was formally welcomed back to his alma mater. The legendary member of the Fab Five even held up his jersey from his playing days. Howard talked about what made him turn down NBA jobs to coach in Ann Arbor.
I'm back to help continue this Michigan tradition. I'm back to help continue this beautiful culture. But hopefully you know, after we leave here today, that I'm all in, a Michigan man. Go Blue.
Welcome back. Bernie Smilovitz was in Ann Arbor earlier today, and he had the chance to talk one-on-one with Howard. So he talks to Bernie about who he is today versus who he was back in the 1990s. We'll have that part of the story when you join us tonight at 5. We're seeing on and off again rain today, plus we're keeping an eye on the Grand Prix forecast. So, Ben, what is the latest?
Lots to discuss as we head towards the weekend, Karen. We did have some storms down here in our south zone. They got pretty heavy as far as the downpours go, but nothing severe. Those are pulling away into the lake, and we're watching another line that's just now starting to form out here in Livingston County. So there's going to be some moderate to heavy showers in here. So far, no lightning strikes. The cold front a little further to the north, but the rain that's along that there in I-69, pretty light stuff. So we will be seeing these at least through the evening. Friday looks like it's going to be a fantastic finish to the work week. Stronger storms unfortunately start to arrive on Saturday for Grand Prix weekend. We'll time that out. Sunday looks dry, but you're going to want to check those temperatures before you head to Belle Isle. We'll look at all that coming up in just a few minutes. Karen.
All right, thank you, Ben. We've got some breaking news out of Chicago where prosecutors have brought more charges against singer R. Kelly. We are told there are 11 new sex-related counts and they all involve one victim. The new charges carry a potential sentence of up to 30 years in prison, and this is the most serious he's facing. Right now, Kelly is free on $1 million bond following charges involving 4 other victims. He will be in court on the new counts next week. President Donald Trump blasting the idea that he could face impeachment, calling the term a, quote, dirty word. It's all part of his first public comments, other than a tweet to Robert Mueller's public statement yesterday. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with more from the president. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. The president continues to attack Robert Mueller, as you said. But meanwhile, 40 Democrats and 1 Republican, Michigan's Justin Amash, are now calling for impeachment. Mueller's statement yesterday is just adding fuel to that fire. The president expressing his disbelief. Listen.
To me, it's a dirty word, the word impeach. It's a dirty, filthy, disgusting word, and it had nothing to do with me. So I don't think so, because there was no crime. You know, it's high crimes and, not with or. It's high crimes and misdemeanors. There was no high crime and there was no misdemeanor. So how do you impeach based on that?
Well, Robert Mueller made it very clear yesterday the Justice Department cannot indict a sitting president, but his investigation did not clear the president of obstruction of justice. So now it's up to Congress to decide what's next. It's certainly a complicated decision, weighing the evidence and considering the possible impact on the 2020 election. It's a heated standoff that shows no sign of ending anytime soon. Karen, we'll continue to keep monitoring it and bring you any new developments. Until then, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much, Kim. Well, many of us have been talking about Alex Trebek's battle with cancer. The Jeopardy host says he is getting some great results. And anytime anyone is beating pancreatic cancer, it is inspiring to other patients and their families. So take this man. He's from Belleville, and this is before cancer, and this is today. His name is Kevin Boyer. And Kevin has been reduced by half, but he has come out stronger on the other side. Paula Tutman is here this afternoon. And Paula, this is a personal story, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, because Kevin Boyer and his family are important to me and my husband. Kevin and Johnny went to Staff and Command or Fire Chief School together. They were with us when Johnny was sworn in. You know, we hang. I can tell you that we've had some pretty terrifying moments, but in the end, this is about hope and triumph over a despicable disease. Kevin Boyer will tell you that at 56 years old, he is absolutely half the man he used to be. A robust 300-pound battalion chief in Dearborn, he decided to trim down to get in shape ahead of retirement. But pancreatic cancer was not the diet he was hoping for.
A gentleman at work came to me and says, "Hey man, your eyes are really yellow." I'm like, and I came home and my wife, Cynthia, she said, you know, you need to get off the couch and go to the emergency room. I was diagnosed right then and there.
Stage 2 pancreatic cancer, the only lucky stroke that the tumor, a slender stage 3 diagnosis away from his artery. He could see his mortality in front of him. Chemo, radiation, surgery, chemo, immediately. He knew it was grim.
And we got to trust to make sure that everybody was squared away and that there was, you know, there's no big issue.
Because this cancer runs in his family. Of 7 children, only 2 have not either had cancer or succumbed to cancer. Even his mother died from pancreatic cancer, and he buried his sister from it a mere 3 weeks before his own surgery.
They slice off the affected area of the pancreas. They take off the bottom part of your stomach. My gallbladder was taken out, and the bile duct was rearranged in there. So your plumbing's rearranged. It's like, I'm not going to make it out of here. I'm not going to make it out of here.
His magic bullet, family support, and prayers answered.
I have a really good support group. My family, very supportive and very prayerful. And I was prayed for, and you know, I was blessed, and I have a strong faith, you know, that things would go okay. But you know, in the back of your mind is like, are they really going to go okay? Is this it? 2
really tough years later, today he is cancer-free, active, travels, and lives life to its absolute hot yellow Corvette fullest. And off into the sunset. Kevin's ability to cheat death has been absolutely remarkable. As I said, today he is remarkably cancer-free. He is healthy, and he's anxiously awaiting the birth of his very first grandchild, and he's ever mindful and ever grateful of the concept of hope. And I just love telling his story today.
I love the fact that you're sharing it, because at the beginning when you said it's all about giving others hope to see that you can battle through this.
Absolutely.
And he's such a great example.
It doesn't have to be a death sentence.
And the yellow Corvette.
Love it.
Love the
Right?
ending shot, Paula. You killed it there.
Drop the mic.
Awesome. Up next, we've got some shock and some concern this afternoon in the middle of a Major League Baseball game. A foul ball hits a very young girl. You are going to hear from the emotional batter who just couldn't believe what happened. Planned Parenthood goes to court in Missouri. Tomorrow, that state could hit a milestone that hasn't happened since the Roe versus Wade decision back in 1973. And do you put your phone down before getting into bed? And how about your kids? A new study reveals bedtime habits. We're not sure who's worse, adults or teens. That's in Trending Stories, coming your way.